That time. We working. We working. We in here. We in there like swimwear. 3 times. We going for 3, baby. 3 times. We going for 3. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited, man. You excited? 'Cause I'm excited. I'm excited. We're gonna do that work, man. We working. We're gonna work. Gonna put it in, bro. Pause, but we gonna put it in. Let's go, baby. Take over. Take over. I'm excited. Bah, 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 bah. Boom, 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 boom. It's happening. This fight is happening. Crazy Fimo is happening, bruh. Teofimo is happening. It's only right. It's only right, man. It's only right, man. 147-pound king. We coming for him. We coming for you. We bringing the world too, Chico. We bringing that with us, Chico.
With Jaron to do Boots and to Malivu. We are discussing now for big fights for...
The takeover versus Boots, huh? What y'all talking about? Let's talk about it. Now, you guys heard the clips that I put together for you. I know you heard it. I am the best in the business and it's not even close, so you heard it. You clicked on the video and we here now. So the beginning, Teofimo again went live. He went live and shook things up. I made a video about it where he basically got kicked out of Canelo's camp. Baby. And he took shots at Canelo as well. Even went as far as saying that he's picking Crawford now, who he's beefed with in the past and had run-ins with. Very weird stuff from Teofimo. But at the end of the day, check that video out. That's why I put out this content. So I already made a video about that. Check that. Now, Turkey called in to the press conference because, you know, he's doing press conferences, different states and cities and stuff. He can't be everywhere. So he might be back at home. So the host of the Shakur Stevenson, or one of the hosts for Shakur Stevenson Edgar Berlanga card at the press conference today, they had Turkey phone in and he said he's talking to Eddie Hearn, which you guys heard at the beginning, and they're trying to put together Boots versus Teofimo, but he called him Timo Lifo or something crazy. Timu Lifu is crazy. That sounds like Wish. Timu and Timu Lifo. That sounds crazy. That sounds like some TikTok shop or something. You know what I mean? Like Fashion Nova and Timu Lifo. That sounds insane. I don't know why Turkey keep slaughtering this man's name. I don't know why he keep doing Timo Lifo like that. But Timo Lifo is crazy work. Anywho, Turkey, you heard him. He said that they're trying to make the fight. Tio is talking in code. He is, I guess you could say, he's hinting at a fight. He's like 147, I'm the king, Scarface, blah, blah, blah. You know, Tio says a lot, so it's hard to even recite what he's saying because he just talks a lot, talks, and kind of, it goes nowhere if I'm being real. But he did hint to 147. He hinted to, like, basically he's coming up in weight, and he says it's done, it's happening, Crazy Fimo and stuff like that. And I don't know what it is about this new generation of fighters, some of these young fighters under 30, but they're like legends in their own mind, and they act like the world is just constantly against them, and their back is against the wall, and, you know, the cards and deck is stacked against them. And it's really not ever the case. It's, you're just doing weird things and people are reacting, but they, you know, they make it like they're so marginalized and misunderstood. Teofimo's like, oh, Crazy Fimo, and they doubted me before. Listen, about the fight, I know some people are going to disagree with me. I know this. They're going to be like, oh, ego, but ego. That's all y'all talk about is some, oh, ego, but ego. I don't really like this fight because I'm noticing a trend, and it's really with Turkey. It's Turkey specifically in ring, Riyadh season, whatever we're calling it, right? Where the fights that people need in boxing and actually called for and want, we are not getting those fights. Canelo and David Benavidez. That is the fight that people want to see. I think people would even settle for Canelo versus Bivol Beterbiev 3 winner, right? For undisputed at 175. Because Bivol, if he wins again, he beat Canelo. If Beterbiev beats him, it'll still be a great fight. And Beterbiev's 40 and he'll have all the titles. So we're not getting those fights. We're not getting, namely, the Benavidez versus Canelo fight. But instead, Turkey will have these like video game fights with the gimmick attached, right? Like, oh, Allegiant Stadium. Oh, we're going to put it at Louis Armstrong and in the middle of the streets and Alcatraz and things like that. And you're getting a former welterweight. You know, Crawford really spent most of his recent career at welterweight. Let's be clear on that. So a lightweight who spent his more recent career at welterweight, one fight at 154, he's the guy fighting Canelo Alvarez. It just, I understand business. I understand how the game is and the game works, but they're really conning the public and making people feel that if we get two names, despite how separate they are in weight or the variables of each individual story, they could just kind of force feed you this. Like, we want to see Canelo versus Benavidez. I can't give you that, or I won't give it to you, or whatever. So we're going to give you Crawford, who wouldn't fight really anybody else at 168, not named Canelo. When people said Canelo shouldn't fight him and then Crawford should go through David Benavidez or David Morrell, when Floyd said Crawford should fight Benavidez, people were like, man, Floyd's hating. You guys just want to see Crawford lose. So it shows me that you're only willing to fight the smallest and a guy who's been looking faded for a while in Canelo. That's what Crawford is doing, right? You're not a 68er, and you know that because you would never pick a David Benavidez, Morrell, Andre, a guy who would be good fights, but far less reward, right? Same thing for Tio and Boots. Why? In my opinion, Boots is the man to beat at the welterweight division. The welterweight division currently kind of dry, like in terms of it's not. We were spoiled. We had Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, and then of course Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, right? And Ugas and Pacquiao, right? So we've been spoiled in the welterweight division. When I'm talking about it's kind of dry, it's not like that right now, right? You don't have these budding stars with crazy resumes and fun styles. So Boots is looking like the man to beat. Teofimo is very inconsistent. No fights at 47. Why would his first fight be a Boots? And again, some people are going to disagree because all they care about is like fantasy land, shoots and ladders. They're like, oh, I know Teofimo, I know Boots. That's all they care about because it's two names. And then when you see what happens in the fight, then you're going to come back to this video and be like, man, ego was right. I would pick Boots over Teofimo all day. I don't see that. I don't see that as being a good, great, needed fight. When did this become the trend where you move to a new division, you don't show anybody that you're capable in this new division, and then you immediately have to fight the hardest person in the division? But again, just like I said with Canelo and Crawford, we're getting that in lieu of Canelo Benavidez, the fight we really want to see that would make more money. It's the same thing here. The fight Jaron Ennis should have, if he is to stay at 147, absolutely Brian Norman Jr. That is, they both have firepower. They've sparred before. There's been some banter from the dads and the sons, right? To me, that's a way better fight than Teofimo, who looks spotty versus Pedraza, looks spotty versus, I don't even know, what's the dude's name? Skagit, whatever, Claggett, Steve Claggett, right? Started off pretty good versus Barbosa, but then he literally kind of tapered off and really couldn't like finish the job with the person who he was beating. You know what I mean? And then now he's supposed to move up to 47, no tune-ups, no other fights, and then straight away just beat Boots. I don't see it. But again, they're hyping up based solely on the fact of they are names that the public knows. So let me know what you think.